How's it going, man?
Very good, man. Thank you for having me.
What was the best moment during that last 30 years for you and a band like Judas Priest?
Wow. Um, well, clearly the most memorable was the Painkiller release, the album release, and then the subsequent the reaction to the title track of Painkiller and the way it was appreciated and I guess mentioned, being the new drummer at the time, and then coming out with that impactful beginning of the song Painkiller was pretty cool. I remember when they debuted on MTV that's back when MTV used to not only play videos, but they had a thing called Heavy Metal Headbangers Ball, which is a heavy metal program for music, and then the subsequent tour. It was the first time for me ever touring the world and visiting countries that I'd never dreamt of going to, including Germany and all through Europe, obviously, and South America, Japan. So all of that was memorable. There wasn't one particular incident, but it was all. I still remember it very fondly. Whereas I couldn't really tell you a tour 2 or 3 years ago. I probably don't remember that one as much as I do the one that was 33 years ago.
Yeah, yeah. As you just said, you entered Judas Priest with a boom, and
Yeah.
This particular drum intro is one of the most important things in the heavy metal, because Painkiller is the heaviest heavy metal album to me. Isn't it sometimes a bit annoying to play that song again and again, or do you just enjoy it?
Oh yeah, I enjoy it. It's not annoying at all. It's like well, you said it, I can't say it, but it's become like a staple of not only Judas Priest, but I think heavy metal music. In other words, it's a song that I think every heavy metal fan recognizes. So as soon as I launch into it with the snare and bass drums and China cymbal, as soon as I launch into that, the crowd always goes berserk, and so it's.
Yeah.
Never gets old. I could do that every day of my life. Just wake up, have my coffee, play Painkiller in front of an audience, and then go, okay, bye, that's it, thank you.
I see. Now the band is going to release the 19th album in the band's history. To me, it sounds very classic, to be honest.
Oh, thank
you. After all these years, where do you find the inspiration to write constantly those great, unique songs, in my mind, with this specific Priest sound? Because, I mean, you could start musical experiments if you wanted to, but you always keep on that Judas Priest style.
Yeah, I just think it's something that all of us in the band, Rob, Glenn, Ian, Richie, myself, and obviously bringing Andy Sneap in was huge for us. He's done a lot of great things for us, mixing, and obviously plays guitar with us on tour and his production. But all of us, have the same sort of vision, and we have the same appreciation for the history of Judas Priest, even though Richie and I weren't there from day one like Ian and Rob and Glenn were, but we still, I'm sure you've heard the story. I was a Judas Priest fan long before I joined the band, and so was Richie in his own right. But I think we all had an appreciation for the music before we joined the band, and then once we joined the band, in my case 34 years ago, you just become part of the nucleus, which is Judas Priest. You understand the history and you hear all the stories, and I've always loved European heavy metal. So it's just something we all have in common, and that's the beauty of being in this band, is everybody has the same sort of musical direction, and I don't think we'll stray away from it.
And you're still just a heavy metal or rock fan, I guess.
Totally, yeah.
Yeah. Is the album title a sort of a statement for the band? Like, the album is called Invincible Shield. Is it like, we are Judas Priest, our music is unbreakable, or is there just a completely different meaning behind that?
No, that's a pretty good interpretation, what you just said. I just think that and again, Rob would probably be better to answer, you know, if he had one interpretation, or sometimes I think singers and songwriters like to have multiple interpretations and let you, the audience, pick your own interpretation. But I would guess that Invincible Shield represents not only Judas Priest, but heavy metal music in general, meaning, you know, it's a shield, it's a badge of honor to be a heavy metal fan, and in our case, you know, players, musicians, or whatever that create music. So I just think it's very apropos, meaning it's very appropriate for this time that we're going out in 2024. I think heavy metal is, I don't know, in a way it seems like it's there are less bands producing it, but I only say that because I know there's probably more bands, but they're all on the internet and TikTok and YouTube and things like that. But there's definitely less record labels that are willing to put good money or big money and support new music coming out, meaning new heavy metal music, new heavy metal bands. It's very difficult. So in that respect, we're still flying the shield, flying the heavy metal flag, and so Invincible Shield kind of represents that.
Okay, there are 11 tracks on the record, with titles like Gates to Hell, Sons of Thunder, Giants in the Sky. It sounds truly heavy metal in my ears. Is there a main concept you're following on those tracks or the lyrics, or is it just heavy metal? People can relax and forget those shitty times we're living in right now?
Again, yeah, all of the above, because music is an escape, like most entertainment, whether you're reading a book or watching a movie or television show. So it's a form of escape. So in other words, you can put the headphones on or listen to it on your phone or a home stereo or whatever you have, and kind of escape. You know, it's definitely, we hope it takes you on a musical journey, but it's heavy metal at its core, and we hope we wrote some good songs for it.
When I hear the intro song, I just want to raise my fist into the air. Exactly, I guess that's all about it.
I feel the same way. I've been rehearsing a lot because we're about to start music rehearsals together to start this tour. So I think we get together next week as a band, but I've been rehearsing on my own, you know, with the tracks that we're probably going to do. But even when I play the title track, Invincible Shield, when that chorus kicks in and Rob sings the chorus Invincible, it really just, you know, makes me even want to go, yeah. I probably speed up a little bit, which is not a good thing because you get so excited. You know?
Yeah, I understand that. If you had to choose one song from the record, which one would be your favorite track?
I'm gonna go with the title track, Invincible Shield. Like I said, it's a long song, so I don't know if we'll play it live. I think we will at some point, but I think it's about 6 minutes long, so it's got a lot of guitar parts to remember. But to me, that's obviously it's the title track, so there's got to be something there as far as the gravitas, meaning that's the song that really kind of launches the album. But I also love Giants in the Sky. I think that's a really cool song. Crown of Horns is another great song. I mean, Rob really outdid himself with the chorus in that song. So a lot of good songs, really.
Yeah. Rob sounds amazing, by the way, like a 20-year-old guy who just started singing in a band.
Exactly. Yeah.
2 years ago, you've been honored of being inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. What was the first reaction in your mind when you realized that this is going to happen?
Well, I remember getting the, I can't remember if it was a call or an email. I think it was an email. Yeah, it was an email. And I don't know how much you know about the history of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but we had been nominated, I think, about 3 times. And so you can get nominated, but you may not be inducted right away. So in our case, we had been nominated. I want to say this was the 3rd time. So we had been nominated 2 times before this, and we didn't get in. I was always confident that we would get in. It's just a matter of time because, you know, they have to put Judas Priest in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but I think they just kind of delay it so they can kind of milk the clock, as an American football term, meaning you just kind of take advantage of the clock and try and slow things down. So they were going to, just like all the bands I saw the other day, I think Foreigner got nominated for the next one in 2024. Well, of course, Foreigner is going to get in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. But anyways, so yeah, I got an email, and it really made me tear up. I'll tell you the story. So I was in what we call over here a home improvement store, which is where you go to buy wood and lumber and power tools and screws and paint. And I was in one of those kind of places, which I frequently am. And I got the email, and I really kind of teared up because my late brother and mother are no longer here, and they really would have. Even when I think about it now, it could almost be emotional because they just would have been blown away. Yeah. And I really missed the fact that I wasn't able to call them and say, you're not going to believe what just happened. So, you know, the funny part of the story is I'm probably checking out of this home improvement store, and I got tears coming down my eye, and everybody's like, wow, is he crying about the prices, or what's everything too expensive in America? Because it was a couple of years ago when things were more expensive than they are now. Yeah. But anyways.
The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is not an award as I understand what an award is, but Judas Priest got many awards in the history and high chart entries and that stuff. How important is it to get an award for art, like a Grammy, for instance? Do you think that this reflects the quality of the music or the art, or even increases the value of it, or is it just satisfying for an artist maybe?
Yeah, I think it's definitely satisfying. I don't think it increases the value of it because, again, to me, it's art. So to some people it's worth nothing, and to some people it's worth everything. So that's the beauty of art. To each his own, as we say. But it's definitely satisfying and gratifying. As you mentioned, we did win a Grammy. I think in the Grammy categories we were nominated 4 times, I believe, and we finally won on the 4th try. I might have those numbers mixed up, but I'm pretty sure it was Grammy 4 times, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame 3 times. But nonetheless, we won each of those. So it's a real tribute, you know, because you hope and you think that the voting comes from your peers and or fans. So that's everything. Fans, none of us would be here today. I wouldn't be talking to you if we didn't have great Judas Priest fans who've been loyal for 50 plus years. And same thing with these award ceremonies, or the people who vote. Hopefully they're fans, and hopefully they know something about music. So I'm sure there's a lot of artists and producers and musicians who are part of the voting. So it's definitely an honor. I don't know anyone yet that's quote unquote turned it down, other than if they do it for publicity. So
yeah. You've made some not so good experiences during the US tour in 2021 when you had to postpone some dates due to Rich's heart surgery, but he's back on track. He's fine again, I guess.
Yeah. He's a tough dude, man. That's one of those things, obviously, none of us will forget. He certainly won't forget it. But it was when something like that surprises you and shocks you like it did, it's a bit of a wake-up call to understand that this gift that we have as far as being able to make music and remain healthy, all of us, including yourself, anybody that's healthy out there, or everybody that's healthy, it's a gift, you know, every day that we have on this earth. So it was a real wake-up call for us in the band, because I guess sometimes when you go on tour, you're in this quote unquote bubble, and you just think everything is about you and the band and the crew, obviously, and you're traveling around like a circus, literally. You're in one town and on and on and on, and a different town the next day. So you kind of lose sight of reality for a little bit, for a couple of months. But this was a wake-up call of reality. So it made us all appreciate more even being here today, or doing, you know, this tour that's about to start. It's very it's going to be emotional, and we will appreciate every single minute of it, you know, because the band's obviously not getting any younger, and at some point we'll have to stop, but for now we're going to keep the train rolling.
I hope so. There's a huge amount of tour dates just been released. Are you still excited? I guess you are still excited about that. How do you prepare for that show? I guess you'll start the band rehearsals about next week or so. And how is it to traveling the world after 30 years on and on? Is there something exciting about that anymore?
Yeah, very, very excited because, like you just mentioned, we it's 30 years plus of doing this, and we didn't do any touring in 2023. We just played the one show in California for the Power Trip Festival, but we didn't do any touring purposely to take the time off and to finish the record. And so having that year off from touring definitely has made us more excited about going out in a month. And the tickets are selling really well, which we're obviously always thrilled to hear about. So the anticipation is there. The audience will be there, and we will be there. And so, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And like I said a minute ago, I mean, this is it's a privilege and a treat and an honor to be able to tour and play around the world. So again, we understand that nothing lasts forever. So yeah, man, every night we're going to give it all we got, as far as I know.
It's and it's still kind of the 50th anniversary tour, I would say. So what can the fans expect from that tour? Do you plan some specials?
Yeah, we always try and do some obviously new songs off the new record, but we also do what we try to call new old songs. So in other words, they're older Priest songs, but maybe either the band has never played them live or hasn't played them live in 40 or 50 years. I know in the last tour we did things like songs like Screaming for Vengeance, which hadn't been played in a while, and did we do Delivering the Goods or things like Exciter or Saints in Hell? I know we did that one. We may bring that back. That was a really an old Priest song that we brought back as new. So things like that, and I think we're going to do some more this time.
Great. That sounds great. Your Spinal Tap moment you never wanted to tell anybody of?
Oh, good question. Spinal Tap moment I never wanted to tell anybody except for today. Gosh, man, I don't have one really, because I mean, not because I just don't have one. It's kind of like when sometimes people ask the question, they go, what's the most memorable or what happened on tour that was crazy, whether it was to me or someone else in the band? And I go, sadly, I don't have one of those stories. I've heard their stories about when they were in the 80s and touring and things like that, or the 70s. I've heard a bunch of their stories, but I'll let them tell those stories because I wasn't there. But Spinal Tap moment, there's got to be something, right? I mean, I guess it's good that I don't have one, because it would probably be something where someone got hurt or a light fell on my head or
you're the drummer, so the Spinal Tap moment, your personal Spinal Tap moment,
where the drum stool falls over and I fall down or something like that. But I don't know. Let me think about it. And if I find out, if I think of something, I'll write you or I'll get your info. I'll email you and I'll tell you the story, and then you can insert it. But I really am sorry I don't have one unless I make one up and lie to you.
The famous last words are yours.
Well, a big thank you to yourself and all the journalists and certainly the fans that have helped us release this new record, Invincible Shield. And we just really do. We really sincerely look forward to touring all around the world. And it's a brand new album. And like I said, we haven't toured since December of 22, I believe it was, when we finished touring. So it's been a long time. Over a year now, but about 14, 15 months. So we're really, really, really looking forward to it. And thank you all so much. Thank all the heavy metal fans and Judas Priest fans. Thank you.
I thank you. Have a good one and see you on tour. Thanks, mate.
All right, man. See you. Bye. Thank you.
Bye.